Yeah, that's coming in, but it's within that realm of a champion where Corki is now coming in. He has the long range. He's not able to be held down. Jarvan will now shift his focus from what he was intended to do inside of the draft because of how upfront and direct Jynaire's draft is, and now it all ends up coming.
It's not known as one of those main party days.
No, they're not open. Well, maybe in Hongdae and other places, but
yeah.
okay.
Well,
All right.
you want to talk about these?
Yeah, once
drafts?
we get into the game, I don't have enough time before we go
Oh,
to the
you didn't
fans.
want to? Yeah, you didn't want to.
Yeah, don't want to get cut short.
Fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, guys, we are getting into the last game of the night, Game 6 of the day, and Game 3 of this series. Jynaire up against DAMWON. Let's do it. Alrighty, let's hop into it. Good skin, good chroma. I approve of the Corki. That's the pajama lux, right?
I have never seen that skin before.
Yeah, nobody uses it.
I didn't even know it existed.
I play a lot of lux, so
Do you?
especially now that it's meta.
Do you play support or mid?
Support.
Okay.
Mid is just you're asking to get wrecked.
He's wiggling the butt.
Yeah.
That's a. You know what that dog just reminded me of? Did you ever watch Neverending Story?
No.
Fulgore or something? You know who I'm talking about?
You know, yeah,
Okay.
of course. What was the dog's name? Fulgore? That sounds like an awful name of a dog.
I think it's. You know what? I'll check later. All right.
Yeah.
The games are going to start off normal here for both of the parties. Lee Sin going to be starting on his blue, Jarvan on his red, and it looks like Jarvan's actually going to go maybe buff to buff. And then maybe look to make something happen, as Jarvan is definitely very strong at level 2. Corki perceived as one of the stronger counters to Lissandra.
Yeah. You just sit back, but Lissandra can't ever really do much to you or get in range. And if she tries to get on top of you, you can Valkyrie away. It's very good. You just farm up. You're not really in any danger. You should never get killed in the lane, and that's exactly what you want from your Corki. Just to scale up, get a couple of items, hit those power spikes.
Should be interested to note that he has elected for the Doran's Blade here in mid lane, not the Corrupting Potion, the Call, or anything like that against this Lissandra. Malrong is full clearing his entire left-hand side jungle. He knows that realistically there's no way to coordinate a gank against any of these lanes, and so he's taking full advantage of that. And he's power clearing. Canyon likewise power clearing, but pathing back up towards the top side of the map, wants to perhaps get that left side Scuttle Crab, as Akali and Corki in theory is the most vulnerable to a gank, as Ezreal and Karma are able to escape relatively easily because it's unrealistic to assume that Lux can land a slow or a binding necessary in order for Malrong to successfully pull through a gank down on the bottom. And so Malrong's actually pathing up towards the left, but he should know that it's impossible for him to get there, and also his mid laner doesn't have priority, and so Canyon's going to be able to pick it up relatively easily with the help of Showmaker, and now Malrong is wasting his time. Unless he proceeds to follow Canyon up to his golems, there's really nothing that he's going to be able to do. Malrong should know that golems are still up. Perhaps we'll actually see a ping. Yep, there it is. Oh, screw. I'm sorry.
I like how you know he's going to ping.
I'm sorry.
Our scripts are very detailed here.
It's all right. Ah, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you're always preaching, you just got to hit that tab button and say, hey, he only has a certain amount of CS. It's got to be available still. And, yeah, gets the good read. We'll have a good idea about that. We have this Lee Sin in the LCK. I think it was at, like, 50% win rate. But tonight it hasn't been having too much success. Let's see if Malrong one of our more aggressive junglers, a guy who loves to get first blood and already has multiple times tonight. Let's see if he can make it work.
Definitely a heavy trade coming out. Interesting to note, Akali has Comet.
Yeah.
That's not a usual rune choice for her. Almost ever. Lately, we've been having Spellbook. We've seen
Fleet
Airy.
Footwork.
We've seen Electrocute. We've seen Fleet Footwork. Comet, not the most common.
Yeah,
And
it's
so-
definitely an interesting one where she just wants to take trades with Pew, I guess, instead of going all in with the Aatrox.
So far here, the game is a little bit stale. However, Infernal Dragon will definitely heat things up eventually, as it is an extremely high priority objective. A little bit more so, I would say, for DAMWON than it is for Jinair. Primarily just because the Karma, Ezreal, Corki, Jarvan, and Akali are all able to get a lot of usage out of it. Whereas some of the items on the side of Jinair tend to be more utility-based. And so not using as much of a ramp from the amplification. Unless, of course, Canyon would go Cinderhulk Jarvan, in which case it would be about even worth for both of the sides.
Yeah, still gotta wait on that one and see exactly which type of Jarvan jungle item he will select. But yeah, you can see that Comet getting to work. Definitely an interesting one. I think if I were playing this lane, I would have taken Fleet Footwork. But that's just Nuggery. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He is a master of the top lane. And so trying to innovate a little bit here with some different picks in the runes. Always nice to see.
Clear out a ward, and now this is the part where you have to respect the ability for an Infernal Dragon sneak, and maybe they're going to do it right now. Lux and Lee Sin. Nope. Never mind. I guess they don't want to start it with Karma coming back off of the base, even though Lissandra had priority in mid lane. And you can basically guess where J4 is just by getting intel on his blue side jungle.
Yeah, as we're going in here looking for Showmaker. He does get the cleanse and the flash down. And even after he gets ambushed in the jungle, he's still able to survive. Good old Corki things. But that does mean that he's very low on health, doesn't have TP, of course, because he took the cleanse. And that does mean that Jinair will win the fight overall. Let's see if they do end up going for that Infernal. For now, they're just going to go for the crab.
Well, Marong's really far behind in experience right now. You can see that Cannon's already inside of level 6, and
Nice steal.
he even wins the smite on the Scuttle Crab. So I don't know how deep he is into 6, but Marong definitely going to be quite a while until he has that level 6 available to him. And so right now, DAMWON Gaming are in a fantastic spot, almost across the board. You can say that maybe Corki is a little bit behind on tempo, but nonetheless, a plate did not end up going down in the middle lane. Nuggery doing a fantastic job up in top lane, and it should also be noted that Aatrox seems to be itemizing Hex Drinker first here against the Akali.
Yeah, a couple trades down here. Not going to amount to too much. They're both going very even down in this bottom lane as, okay, right as I say that, Nuclear are going to just shut him down. Says, see you later. Hit him with just the edge of that one, and Kellen with heal and flash dies to that play.
Probably was not expecting to get clipped. And this means that DAMWON is going to convert into the Infernal Dragon Jinair. Oh
Okay.
man, that's a very early hop over. Even though we could see the HP.
Yeah, I guess he just,
I don't know what he was...
I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Definitely a mistake. And that does mean that DAMWON are going to pick up the Infernal Drake here to start us off. So that's just like a godsend now.
Yeah.
For this team that just loves the Infernal Drake.
I mean, everyone basically just got a longsword at minimum, not including what's going to happen in the future. We take another quick look at this replay. And you can see Kellen, he goes for a binding. And then Aftershock wears off, and then he just could not have imagined that would kill him. That's what's happening there.
Wait, let's listen.
야 나이스!
Wow.
한번 잡을게.
야 너무 깊숙이 가지 마. 나
오케이,
호응
오케이.
안 돼. 야 리산 노텔이야.
Don't go in too deep. And Lissandra no TP. But yeah, just happy about that one. Got the Nisa out there as well. Which, you know, of course means nice. For you guys, you know. Can never be too sure. But yeah, things going well down there in the bottom side.
And now, at this point, DAMWON Gaming, they find themselves with a 1,000 gold lead as well as the Infernal and the superior late game scaling, so they are sitting pretty. The only unfortunate thing, if you are a DAMWON fan, is that Clown Dragon will end up spawning in 3.5 minutes. Lissandra correctly going for the Ludens, it seems, as the first item. No reason to go for the early accelerant type of Lissandra build.
Okay, looking to potentially turn this one around. As Malrong's just going to wait in here. He knows that Canyon's going to come in and check. Tries to get that damage down already. Waits for the flag and drag. Good stuff, but is going to be able to flash onto the blasting plant, but is able to get that very important summoner away from Canyon.
Yeah, it's a very big pickup. It will diminish Jarvan's ability to approach certain spots and perhaps reach with Cataclysm. Barrel out now here with Canyon. And they know about the Rift Herald, but the patience is almost reset on it. Oh, it's really unfortunate.
Shelly has a lot of patience.
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
Very patient.
Please be careful. Okay. No steal. No score stuff today. Malrong not going to let that one happen, so with that little play, they're able to just secure this one, so nice fighting back here from Jinair, who are still behind, but can maybe claw back some of that gold lead with the Rift Herald. As see that Callan was actually level 5, with Root being level 8. It's quite rare to see that much of a gap in the bottom lane, but when you die early and you leave your Sivir down to farm a bit, that is bound to happen from time to time.
Now, at this point of the game, everything should just stagnate for a little while unless some heavy trade ends up coming out. And if they're just able to avoid that binding by Lux. Jarvan now on the right-hand side of the map. Malrong ended up consuming his Raptor camp. He didn't even release it. Yeah. And we're panning back to Aatrox versus Akali.
Lee Sin has one item only. It's funny, you don't usually see that.
Yeah.
Generally, you get like a control ward in there, but he must have had just enough money for that. So Rift Herald coming on down, looking to hand over some of that gold actually to Root. You were talking about how Sivir, it's kind of does come down to her a lot in this game, so I don't mind this at all.
They didn't really get a lot of value out of it. That was a pretty poor timed Rift Herald. You know that they had more time on it, and so why on earth do you just summon it like that? Not really. Hold on, I'm looking through the script. Hold on one sec. Yeah, there's nothing there about that.
Yeah.
So they went off script right
No,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, it probably explains why it was not an enjoyable viewing experience for us.
Yeah, we don't write the bad scripts. We got great script writers here at the LCK generally. Yeah. Although they are fans of a lot of farming games too. I'm not really sure about that.
They do.
They need to write more action scripts. I guess they don't want it to be too obvious, you know?
Yeah. So, do you know where Shelly is from?
The Void, no?
No. Didn't you just see how she was used? She's from North America.
What?
Come on.
N.A. Shelly?
Yeah.
What state is she from? The Lul state?
I'm glad you know. Oh, man.
Well, Grace taking a little bit of damage here. The big one. He's got his package back. You know that it was you and I that were casting when that big package thing happened with me. I didn't know the exact name of the package.
Oh yeah, and Papa
you said it.
You later.
You said it, and I'm like, oh, that's the name then, the big package.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, he's carrying his big package around, and I thought it was just the name. I thought it was normal, but you tricked me. And I was using that for like a year.
Right.
As we're fighting over Clown Drake here, it looks like DAMWON easily going to be able to use this, and here comes that package. as able to kick Showmaker back in, but Malrong is going to be doomed here as there was no place to hide. So the Clown Drake gets taken away, plus the kill, and DAMWON will now push.
Well, DWG Gaming continue to just accelerate their gold advantage. It's almost 2,000 gold here now, and I mean, it's reaching a point of no return, so I did it not yesterday, the game before at 9 minutes. I'm gonna call it here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
14:48.
Yeah. If I was a referee, I would probably just intervene at this point. I would just throw in, I'd call the match.
Well, I mean, there is always the chance that this goes to 40, 50 minutes based on...
So there's the chance of a remake.
Yeah? Oh, that would be nice. You give them another chance.
You wanted to know how we'd be here until 2 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, that is the only way, right?
Yeah.
We don't have another secret series coming out here. We're not going to do LS versus Valdez 1v1s.
Wasn't there a match that had to be postponed? I think that happened once.
Really?
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right.
There was,
I
right?
think that
It was
happened
going
last
too
year.
late.
I think it happened last year. I don't know if it was because it was going too late, but I'm pretty sure that happened last year where we had to have like one extra game on one of the days or something. Or maybe that was just because of the weird schedule.
Maybe.
Sure.
Well,
I was casting another game when I first started casting, and there was a giant snowstorm, and one of the teams got caught. They got caught in a blizzard, and they had to cancel the match. It's like,
really?
Yeah. Like, yeah, sorry, the team is like literally just stuck in traffic in a tunnel for like 2 hours because the team house was really far away, and they just had to cancel it. I wasn't casting that day, but the two guys that were like, yeah, we casted for 30 minutes today, and that was it. Because they started it, and they thought they were just going to show up late, but then eventually the team was like, no, we can't get there. It's just not going to happen.
Wow. So were they forced to forfeit, or? That would be really weird if you were, right?
No, I don't think they were forced to forfeit. I think they got like a penalty when they redid the game. Because technically, if you leave, on time, that shouldn't happen.
Well, 2.5 minutes until the next Infernal Drake ends up.
Oh, nice kick flash there. Can they kill him, though? The binding's going to go wide. The damage will be enough, though, as Root is going to get that towards the end. So the play was flashy. Took a little bit longer to take her down, but Karma did go down.
And it comes at the expense, though, of Malrong using his ultimate as well as his flash, and so he won't have that available for the upcoming Infernal, and so you gotta ask yourself, was it worth it in the end to get the kill at such a heavy commitment, given that such a important objective is about to spawn?
Yeah, it's about the timing, You're gonna kill her and she'll respawn, and then it's like, okay. So, the Sivir got some gold, which is actually very good. But in terms of timing, perhaps it could have been better. But I suppose just playing around vision and trying to feed their carry was the goal of that play.
Now they are posturing around the Infernal Dragon, clearing out all of the vision. Akali has teleport, so does Aatrox. Grace does not, though. So I want you to take a quick peek currently at Grace's HP and mana. Notice that he will need to recall on the Lissandra before he is able to come back into the lane. This should mean that DWG Gaming is able to establish total control and priority around the red side jungle before resetting themselves. And now they'll come back to this in the driver's seat, as Jarvan is going tank. We should note. That's a big package.
Oh yeah, lots of treats in that delivery.
Yep. Have to see what he ends up doing with it. 30 seconds until the Infernal Drake has Linderong looking to recall. Wonder what he's going to end up purchasing, but Akali has the Gunblade completed now with tier 2 boots. And it's going to be Ninja Tabby for the Aatrox. And one of the interesting rotations here, we don't see it from pro players enough, is Aatrox could just run to the dragon first, have the whole fight transpire, and then teleport back top lane. And in a way, you steal teleport from the enemy player, and you regain immediate tempo and priority. But instead, if he just goes top lane right here and Nuguri moves down to the dragon, the reverse is going to end up happening.
Yeah, Yeah, that is happening right now. Nuguri just running all the way down here.
Yeah.
And
he saves teleport this way.
Yeah, they're going to start this one up as absolutely the TP is going to come in right on top of Akali. They want to turn here onto Linderong. Try to make it so he can't get the kill. He is going to flash it away, but Jinner just pull in and say, thank you very much. They're going to take that, but they don't want to let them go down without a fight here as Grace. Nice timing on the ult, trying to flash away. Big time Cataclysm in the back with Linderong.
Aatrox!
He's going to get the kill, but he's the only one left available.
All right.
As everybody else died in the Cataclysm. Already a double kill to the Akali here. As it's going to take a little while, but we will have the ace in the end. Down he goes. The Infernal Drake goes the way of Jin-Air, but DAMWON crushed him in the fight.
Yeah, and so they get the Infernal Dragon, which is a nice little pickup for them, but it comes at the cost of everything. As they will lose their bottom tier 1 turret. We take a look at this again. And you can see that because of DAMWON Gaming's positioning inside of the Drake, the angle that Lissandra can approach from, as well as Root and Kellen, causes them to split up enough. They're respecting the Aatrox teleport from behind. They lose the Infernal Drake, but then they end up regrouping. They have the better concave. Canyon, with Nuguri, able to just do so much inside of the backline. That Akali is so strong and the Jarvan so tanky. And then eventually they turn their attention to playing World of Warcraft as they bring down the raid boss.
Yeah.
This is Pacific Rim 3. That's actually what that is. So.
Yeah.
Coming back into live now. More items completed for both parties, but things are just going to get worse and worse here for Jin-Air, as Corki and Ezreal are just going to continuously ramp up and become more obnoxious and even more slippery. And Lissandra is going to begin losing damage as magic resist starts coming in.
Yeah, it's really up to
Sivir.
Root Senpai. He's got to be the carry. And, I mean, it's going to be hard, you know? It's very good when it gets extremely late game and you're just critting people for tons and tons of damage, but to get there, I mean, DAMWON's a good enough team where I think they're just going to shut it down before it even gets there, and they have a lot of carries of their own, so there's really no guarantee that that can even happen. But we'll have to wait and see. DAMWON absolutely still have a game on their hands where they have to focus and not make mistakes because, you know, one team fight goes wrong, Sivir, perfect positioning, maybe you get a couple of kills, you take Baron, and all of a sudden it's like, wait, what's going on here? But, again, not super likely, so we'll have to continue to tune in and see what exactly is going to happen.
Shot Barrage coming out, trying to cancel a root. Ooh, nice little reaction there with the spell shield.
That's why
Grace
he's the Senpai.
has to turn right back around now. Did you hear her? Did you hear the yell that she let out? Yeah, she was so angry.
That's how I feel when I queue up for solo queue and I get my 4th enter in a row.
Oh,
Isn't that right, LS?
Oh, yeah.
That's when I just queue up Lissandra so I can make those sounds in the game.
What was it? I think it was 2 nights ago. It took me 2 hours. Several champ select dodges and 2 games that both ended in under 19 minutes due to opens.
That's what it's like at the top of the ladder, huh?
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
What do you think is the most toxic tier? Oh, I'm going to have to cut you off as Beryl. They're looking for that assassination attempt, and they're having a little bit of trouble finding him. And finally, they do kill the Karma, who is very slippery in that backline.
I've found, all right, so in my subjective experiences with coaching people,
yeah,
I've found that it's often high platinum and low diamond tends to be
yeah, I was
the
going to
most
say
toxic,
the same thing.
because the platinum people think that they're superior to gold and silver, but they're really not. They're essentially glorified silvers. And then
hey, don't call me that.
And then the low diamond players think that it's their teammates that are holding them back and they're diamond.
Well,
so.
here we go again. Canyon getting in there, but went a little bit too far, and Linderong gets the reset here once again. So Jin-Air, got to slip away from that one. Looks like he took the damage anyway, but nice job to get away from that one. But yeah, I think you're right. probably high plat, low diamond.
Yeah.
And it's funny, that's where I've sat for a long time on the Korean server. We're going to take a look at the replay here.
Yeah.
Barrel just takes too much here at the beginning.
Barrel taking quite a bit of damage. And everything's just sort of scattered right now. DAMWON Gaming are still trying to scale, but then after this, we take a look at what happens here. Linderon getting caught out inside of his red side jungle. Cataclysm ends up coming in. Canyon taking massive amounts of damage. World Ender ends up getting the passive reset. And DAMWON just being a little bit reckless with their play right there. They just have to keep waiting. And it sounds really weird, but with each minute that passes, it's only going to keep getting better for DAMWON. And now, you ready for this?
Yeah.
We're going to get an Ocean Drake.
Ocean Drake.
Ocean Drake it is.
Seems to be the theme of today.
Hold on, hold on.
Nope.
No.
Nope, not today.
All right.
You were on the wrong page. I think
got
it's the Drake after this one.
Yeah. No, there can't be an Ocean
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
Okay.
Right
Nice
after
save.
I said that, I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Well, 30-minute mountain isn't that bad. The next dragon that will follow isn't Elder.
Do you know how the RNG works on that, by the way? Is it like less of a chance to, okay, we're going in here as the cleanse goes down with the electrocute from
they got
Long, able to
Showmaker.
kick him in the back there. Here comes Canyon, wants to get that big knockup, gets
Whoa.
3, but where's the follow-up? Nobody's able to get on in there. Grace in a lot of trouble, and Canyon will get away, though. And so now Nuguri leading the charge here. You can see Nuclear and Nuguri at full health, basically trying to get in there and assassinate Root, but the chase continues as the flash comes in, and Root takes a huge amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough as he gets away. But Linderong now, they're diving the turret.
Oh, they're
They have
going
the karma.
ham.
They don't care about that turret as Nuguri's just going to assassinate 2 of them. And you see that Nuclear picks up that kill on the backside with 6 kills now. DAMWON find the fight they want.
And this is sort of what I was talking about earlier, where you can't just kill Corki or Ezreal, you have to kill them both, and that's such an impossible task to ask for Jin Air's team composition, where even though they get the Corki, Canyon, by the way, had a beautiful 4-man EQ combo.
Yeah.
And then Nuclear was just able to retake over the fight with the assistance of the Akali, and now that's Baron. And yeah, Jin Air, they have Sivir, they have Lissandra for wave clear, but it's going to be really hard to hold on against Lux, Ezreal, and Corki. So we take a look at how this all ends up occurring. They end up locking down Showmaker, that gets Flash and his cleanse. Malrong forced to commit so much and so heavy to killing him, and it looked like they were going to be able to disengage, but Canyon had other plans in mind. Cataclysm into a 4-man EQ. He is so tanky. Flashes out right at the very end there. World Ender, no passive reset. And Kellen and Root, they don't have enough damage. They can't remain stationary and try to keep auto-attacking the Akali, because then the spells from Karma, as well as the EQ from Jarvan, will come in. Sivir will get light up like a light bulb or like a Christmas tree. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well done. The side of DAMWON. Really, Canyon was the one that made that all happen, so props to him. As now we are going to begin the Baron push. And the gold lead only grows from here, as they're about 7,000 gold ahead. In this game, feeling pretty good about themselves. Most likely going to take this victory against Jin Air tonight, but let's see if they can close this out. Linderong, no TP, but he's going to take out that turret first, as they can't really stop the Baron push anyway.
Well, now at this point, DWG Gaming will recall, collect themselves. Ezreal probably should just go Guardian Angel next item. He already has the QSS. Corki, he could go Guardian Angel 3rd item as well, because again, as long as one of them survives, there's nothing the opposing team can do.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the most likely scenario. The Lissandra, we saw the last time that Canyon went a little bit too deep in the jungle, actually right here, and he got punished for it, but it took one of those weird fights to just take one of them out, or like a big commitment in the top side to kill a Corki, but it's not really going to win you a fight at this point, and DWG are going to try to stop making those mistakes at the same time. If that happens, most likely they will take this win. So now DAMWON in the bottom side, pushing this one into the tier 2. They've already taken out the tier 2s at all the other lanes. They're just trying to gather as much of the gold on the rift that exists right now and pass it around, fill their coffers.
Well, both lanes are being applied pressure right now. Baron, only 35 seconds remaining. We'll see if they can actually hang on to the inhibitor turret. Canyon.
You can see those bouncing attacks from the Sivir are actually doing a big number. So, very hard
for the Baron push, against the Sivir and the Lissandra. It's really hard, and it's also very difficult to dive. The Lux barriers will come out, defensive Aatrox Qs, Lissandra locking members up underneath the turret. Now, you know what? Tonight I talked about a few instances of good Morellonomicon versus.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you about a bad one.
Yeah, give it
this
to me.
One right here.
Lissandra.
The team fights are not sustained. You have to burst the Corki and the Ezreal really quickly. And so stopping their healing doesn't really matter. You need to have as much damage as possible to try to just cripple them entirely or take them out immediately.
Yeah.
You don't care about the Morellonomicon passive. You're not worried about the Karma healing coming in from the Athene's Unholy Grail or the Blade of the Ruin King passive healing on the Ezreal or Fleet Footwork on Corki or the Gunblade on Akali. You need to just deal as much damage as possible, especially because, for the most part, Lissandra will be single target outside of the Jarvan because she's going to be on top of her.
So, how about the Morellonomicon for the Akali? You a fan of that, or does it kind of fall in the same?
Well, Akali, we've seen her in multiple team fights where, for DAMWON Gaming, the fights are sustained. Right? So on the side of Jin Air, they want to go in one fell swoop. They want to try to take out DAMWON Gaming's legs from under them. DAMWON wants to stabilize the fights, get good concaves, get good spreads, and then kind of chip away at them and poke and wither them down. In those instances of Akali acting as this mid-rangey champion that goes in, backs up, etc., Morellonomicon can come into play.
Yeah, it's also pretty good against the Aatrox that she's going to be laning up against quite a lot. He's got a lot of healing in his kit, as you guys can see there. But overall, just a lot of penetration for her build as well. Also picked up that Void Staff. I know you're a big fan of that.
Well,
as this definitely feels like a game. I mean, we talked about the Baron pushes and how even that can be difficult to push. DAMWON's not going to be able to do anything until they get the next Baron.
Yeah.
That's really just their fate in this game.
Now you need to just get cast a curse. Jin Air needs to walk out of their base, attempt to take a team fight.
And they win, and Jin Air win, and they're like, LS is so dumb.
Yeah.
How did
not me.
he not know?
Not me. I wouldn't make that assertion here. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I just mean about the Sivir.
Oh, okay.
Coming back, but yeah, I mean it is going to take DAMWON getting really aggressive as Malrong basically doesn't exist here. Not much that this Lee Sin can do at this point. They have so much long range poke. He's just sitting in the front line like maybe I can get a kick flash onto someone, but if not, I'm not actually a champion. I am blind for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're going to just take this Baron here. There's zero vision, of course, and really no even attempt by Jin Air to get even close to it. So, you know where their chips are stacked. They're doing what the Koreans call the dongball, which is just trying to hold off as hard as you possibly can and not die, you know.
What does it translate to exactly?
Well, the first one is, like, kind of
I know it's
dirty slang.
Yeah.
It means like just holding on really hard, basically.
Okay.
Like resisting very hard, I guess.
You're ready to see what happens in a team fight?
Yeah, I was ready, but Jin Air wasn't ready. Grace is like, no, get me out of here.
It's just so hard to realistically overcome the situations that are being presented to Jin Air. This Baron, it's going to persist into the Elder Dragon, so if they want to win a team fight, they need to steal the Elder Dragon, or Sivir needs to go to 6 items, and Corki and Ezreal's mouse and keyboards need to disconnect during the team fight. So,
well, I mean, they're not going to do that themselves. Get to work, guys. You got to get down there, you know?
Yeah, let me onto the stage. And
no, we have security for that. Nobody's going to have anything disconnected. Well, I mean, it is possible, though, that that's the way we get to 2 a.m., right? We go to like a 60-minute game, and then it's like, wait.
You know what I'm really hoping for is that the Elder Dragon doesn't end the game. This goes till about 45 minutes.
Oh, rude.
Nexus fight going on, bug splat type thing.
Yeah.
Can't reconnect.
And they're like, no, we can't give the game to DAMWON. We need to replay it. As, yeah, they're doing it. I mean, they're just saying, yeah, your bases belong to, or our bases belong to you, basically. As oh, gigantic cataclysm as Kenyon, he wants to catch the last train home. He's not wasting any time, and well, down will go the Akali as they trade mages here, essentially. And now we got a TP coming in from the side of Aatrox. Let's see if Linderon can get on top of them.
This is the type of catastrophic thing that I said might need to occur, but I think 3 inhibitors is still too much. It's definitely going to be too much. Even though 2 of the members end up going down here.
Jinner? Hello? I'm doing my best LS impression.
I thought that was absolute. I would give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to be able to leave their base now, and the Elder will be going over to DAMWON. The entire red jungle, or red buff jungle for the blue team is lit up like a Christmas tree, as you said.
I like that.
And, yeah, not much they can do here. The Ezreal, not on their team, as looks like they're waiting for Nuggery to respawn. And there you go. Smite it up there. 4 elementals, Drakes, and the Elder feeling pretty good about themselves.
And so this should probably just be the Doom push. Corki and Ezreal with this strong of an Elder Dragon. Let's just take a look at the damage. Sivir, I mean, she's trying her best. Leave her alone.
Yeah, no, I'm you know, doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, they got her spell shield. Uh-oh. Oh, they're fighting now. They got Lissandra behind, but they're trying to burst her. She has to ult herself to kick away.
Oh.
And everybody's in this one. The Cataclysm does a ton of damage, and there's the flash forward. Not much that Root can do. He's going to go down, and it looks like DWG have done it before 40 minutes. A little bit faster than we expected, but Jin decided we have 1 turret, but we're not going to fight next to it. We want to end the game. GG. 2-1 is the victory here to DAMWON Gaming tonight over Jinner. Congratulations to them, as they will go now to 2-2 after that play.
And so now, at this point, Jinner, likely. I mean, this has been several splits now running.
That is true.
Of the same kinds of problems. And the meme, so to say, of the long Jinner games, them not knowing what to do, that's years running.
Yeah. This has been going on for a while, just like their games. Yeah. Well said, LS.
Just like
But it's true. I mean, definitely something has to be switched up here. As, yeah. Good start here from DWG.
Well, DWG Gaming, I mean, they got nice small little advantages early on in their team composition. It sort of talks for itself. This was actually one of the interesting blunders right here, and they could have sacrificed Lissandra, and you can see, look at Jinner. They all could have gotten out. They could have left Lissandra to die. Everyone else could have got out. They didn't. They handshook some really random team fight. Aatrox wanted to be a raid boss. Don't totally know what the script was. That's not my script. So, right here, they end up killing Corki. He goes forward, and then right here, again, look, why did Lissandra go this far forward? Why did the members hold the position that they did and keep going up? There's definitely a lot of peculiar decisions being made, which suggests that they're not identifying the current game state nor the team comp states against one another individually.
Yeah, and when you put it that way while watching it happen, it definitely does become a lot more obvious that Jin Air just have trouble with identifying exactly where they're at and how to play, their situation for any given time. As we'll take another look here at the last fight, see what DAMWON had to say.
You can keep going, you can keep going.
Honestly, it's really hard to... I mean, these guys are talking super fast. So
yeah, we're gonna go to stats.
Going over to the stat screen. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it looks about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ezreal doing tons of damage as he always does. Unfortunately, Sivir not really able to have as much support as she would have liked. If that team gets ahead, you think about Sivir popping her ult and then everybody just getting into the back line. You know, you get a couple of kills for
if they get really ahead, but there's nothing present in the team comp that should allow you to think that they can without mistakes occurring. You know, it's almost to the point where team compositions, like I mentioned a lot earlier, is a lot like drafting in Magic or drafting in Hearthstone. And so you can really see the clear, glaring archetypes of each team composition and what it can end up meaning when you entertain what all the champs can do.
Yeah. We got a big groan from the Korean side after Canyon was named the MVP. I don't think it was a groan. Maybe they were just saying, yeah, of course. Had to have been him because he was the obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just really
I mean,
good
look at
this
that
game.
Cataclysm. He also hit the 4-man EQ up in top lane.
Yeah, multiple times
Yeah.
this game. Easy choice. Insta check mark from me.
Insta check, yeah.
In the Canyon box. So this guy had a really good game, which is, you know, sometimes, especially when they play up against Griffin, it's like,
Yeah.
it's hard to watch sometimes if you're a DWG and Canyon fan. But today he looked really good, especially on the Jarvan. So props to him. We are going to be hearing from him and Nuguri in the interview. So excited to see what they have to say, and that's going to happen now. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the translation.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Ji-sun with the last interview translation, and we're going to be hearing from Nuguri and Canyon from DAMWON Gaming. 2 games winning streak. It was a very important one to gain momentum. Yeah, I'm really happy that we were able to gain momentum by picking up another victory today. Canyon, Jin Air, their performance are keep improving, so it was not an easy game today as well. So what kind of feedback do you guys have after game number 1? Just as usual, let's just do our role completely, and if we do a good job, we're gonna win. What was the reason that you guys failed in game number 1? We were having the composition to going in, however, Jin Air had a lot of champions that can counter of the champions that coming in. They're very good at defending, so that was the main reason. However, game number 2, Nuguri, your performance was on point, especially you made the revenge on Linderang, giving him a solo kill back. We have this highlight to check together. Do you remember that moment? Near the blue buff, right? I wanted to steal it and run away, but I saw him. Well, Cannon did not use his ult before that, but I actually didn't have my ultimate. However, I had a very good magic penetration items, so I was able to kind of kill him over there. So a lot of fans are actually thinking that you were actually angry in game number 2. Yeah, game number 1, me playing Cannon, the game went very bad, and I was very weak in the side lanes as well. So game number 2, I wanted to go with the champions that I'm confident with, and I just wanted to kind of redeem in game number 2.
네, 그리고 너구리 선수가 3세트에서는
And Noguri in game number 3, you played Wakame Akali. Why did you choose that rune?
저는 감전이나 뭐
Well,
자주 듣는
Electrocute
감전,
or
두미남 발놀림,
Fleet
유성
Footwork,
거의
Comet.
생각하는데 감전이랑 유성이랑
Those are the
거의
three
똑같은 룬이라
main
생각하고
runes that I choose, and also I think Electrocute and Comet are almost the same for me. Do you? I saw you trying a lot of different runes in various champions. So how are you able to come up with such experimental results? Well, I sometimes look at how other players use, and I just go through some of the matchups I have. So sometimes I just want to try something new to win the matchups. And Kenyon, game number 3, you were doing a good job on J4. However, you were the only player having crowd control in your team. Well, I had nothing to do. I just locked in J4. Well, J4 was the only champion having the CC. So how did you play the game in number 3? Well, nothing special. I just thought they were gonna win. I guess you just followed your heart and you guys were able to kind of defeat game number 3 as well. And your Cataclysm was really on point. What was your focal point during team fights? I just went in. I thought that all the other players in the back line will just follow up and defeat them. I mean, take them down. Noguri, how was Kenyon's performance today? Well, J4, he was really doing a good job with his ultimate, also EQ combo. So it was really easy for me to kind of go inside team fight. So I think he did a really good job. So Kenyon, do you agree that the top side of DAMWON Gaming is really strong? Well, I mean, top and mid laners were really strong. So I think I have to be the one, have to kind of step up to make someone's top side stronger. So the next game, if you guys pick up another win, you guys are climb up to the higher rank. I believe SKT must be really angry as well. So if we were able to take down the angry SK Telecom, I think we will be maintain a very good momentum. This will be the end of the interview with Noguri, Kenyon from DAMWON Gaming, and I'm going to pass it back to our caster. Thank you.
네, DAMWON 게이밍의 너구리 선수 캐니언 선수 함께했습니다.
Thank you, Ji-sun. Okay, there we go. We're back. Thank you, Ji-sun, for that wonderful translation. As yeah, it's good to hear from those two guys. I liked Nuguri's compliments of Canyon's play in that one. Felt pretty good and wholesome. As yeah, now they're on a 2-game winning streak, and that's got to be feeling pretty good after their start of 0-2.
Yeah, and Jin Air Green Wings, I mean, they look destined to go into relegations again if they keep playing like this.
Yeah.
So, because Genji, they are 2-2. KT are not looking. Genji, KT are not looking the same way that they did before in spring, and I don't think that SK Telecom is going to end up at the bottom of the bracket for much longer. And these other teams definitely are just a step above them. So, next matches that everyone can check next week, Wednesday, DAMWON versus SKT1 in King Zone versus Jin Air Green Wings. So, no.
Oh, why does it have to be King Zone the next team they're going to play against?
Oh, man, they're just going to get demoralized. Yeah, that's all. You know, we say that, but you know that Jin Air's
yeah. This time for real. This time with effort. The Friday matches, I think, seem to be really good. There's that one Sandbox versus SKT, I think it was, or something like. No. We just had that.
I got Atlas on Sunday.
Sandbox versus Afrika. Those are going to be good. But either way, guys, thanks for tuning in. We love you. Good night.